In August 1845, the Cork Examiner printed one of the earliest Irish references to a new and little understood threat, a mysterious disease attacking potato crops across Europe. The article was titled "The Potato Blight and Its Cause." It was reprinted from the Gardener's Chronicle, an English horticultural journal, and appeared before the blight had taken full hold in Ireland. No one at the time could imagine the disaster that was about to unfold, yet this quiet article now stands as one of the first printed signals that danger was approaching. The tone of the report was calm and factual. It offered observations and explanations based on what farmers, botanists, and gardeners believed they were seeing. The article stated plainly that a fatal malady has broken out amongst the potato crop. Belgium, it said, was most seriously desolated, and Covent Garden Market in London was full of diseased potatoes. The implication for Irish readers was unmistakable. The disease was spreading fast. The article described the symptoms with surprising accuracy. First appeared a black spot on the leaf, then came rapid spreading, yellowing, collapse, and an offensive smell from the decaying plants. If the infection was severe, even the potatoes underground became soft, wet, and rotten. Where the article moved into scientific explanation, it reflected the knowledge of its time. It claimed the disease was caused by a mixture of weather and moisture. Cold air, heavy rain, and a lack of sunshine left the plant full of water that could not evaporate. The potato leaves, unable to perspire, became waterlogged and fermented from the inside. Rot followed naturally. In short, the article believed the blight was the result of climate conditions, not an external infection. This idea was logical for 1845. No one yet understood microbes or plant pathogens. But today we know that the real cause was very different. The blight was not created by rain or cold. It was caused by a fungus-like organism that spreads through airborne spores. Weather did not produce the disease, but wet, cool conditions helped it thrive. In simple terms, the article was right that moisture made things worse, but wrong about why. The disease came from outside the plant, not from within it. Despite this misunderstanding, the Gardener's Chronicle article showed how closely people were watching the outbreak. It even described comparisons between fields. In a low, poorly drained pasture, the disease appeared quickly. In a dry, elevated plot, the foliage remained healthy. This was a useful and accurate observation, even if the reasoning behind it was incomplete. When the Cork Examiner carried this information into Irish homes, it gave the first hint of how farmers might slow the spread. Drainage, early harvesting, and careful storage. The piece also delivered one chilling truth. As to cure for this distemper, there is none. It encouraged growers to dig potatoes early if bad weather continued. The crop would be smaller and less mature, but better than rotting entirely underground. However, no method could reverse the disease. The best farmers could do was salvage what remained. For Ireland, in 1845, these ideas carried far greater significance than in England. In Britain, people might endure a bad harvest with discomfort, higher prices, or a reliance on other grains. In Ireland, particularly among the rural poor, the potato was not a crop, it was survival. A blight in Europe was a scientific curiosity. A blight in Ireland was a catastrophe waiting to erupt. Within weeks, the disease appeared across Cork, Waterford, and Tipperary. By October, gardens and fields were turning black. Readers of the Cork Examiner in August may not have been frightened. Not yet. The report was observational, clinical, almost technical. It offered explanation, not warning. But in hindsight, the significance is unmistakable. This was one of the first moments when an Irish audience was told plainly that the potato, the foundation of the diet for millions, was under threat. Today, this modest newspaper column reads like an opening chapter. It marks the very beginning of the crisis that would shape Ireland's history, population, and memory for generations. The harvest of 1845 would still be partially saved, but the years that followed would bring devastation. Thank you for listening today. I truly appreciate you being here. If you are interested in Irish history and enjoy the content, please consider liking the video and subscribing so you don't miss future videos.